All right, my friends, it's Hank. I'm going to run through a couple of things here. Um, for sake of millennials, younger people, people caught in a situation where, yeah, you might know it's coming, but you really didn't. You're not at the end of your working career had an opportunity to accumulate any assets, and what you need to do, or hell, I mean, if you're just late to the party, okay? Surviving the Greatest Depression. Okay, first thing you're going to need to do is take back the initiative. Okay, right now, initiative is to, well, the collapse, being engineered as it is. Well, there are so many different factors that play into that, just to say specifically, period, that's it. All right, let me get serious here because I'm already getting on a wild bunch of tangents. All right. Sometimes there's a lot of information, and well, I have a tendency to want to go forward. Okay. So this is who I'm addressing: millennials, Gen X, and those without the time or means to materially prepared. Okay. Now, when you're in wherever you are, okay, first thing you want to do, and you should already be doing this, but in small doses, scout for minor consensus. And what I mean by this is to observe and record. Now, this is going to be more important, how you conduct yourself as the tension begins to escalate and realizations start to sink in, and people try and cope or create an understanding of their new situation. See, for somebody, and I'm seriously, it's like I'll get stressed out from time to time because I know the challenges that are coming, and I know, kind of where it is and what's around me and what's going on, and still that can be stressful. But I've had every day for a long time since I had this realization that to think about these things and prepare. So, like, I could only imagine what having all that stress that we endure, or I endure, whoever knows or is in the know, thinks ahead. That stress that we endure incrementally as we try and figure out what the next step is, that's going to hit other people all at once. And I could not imagine what that shock is going to be like. It's going to be fucking intense. So, all right. You need to file in your mind details. Okay. And this is just a general thing. So you're out and you're walking all around. Start using your brain and file away these specific details. The age, the number in that group, that location, the activity that they're doing, the date, and the time. Okay, as much as you can remember. You don't be coming around writing everything in a book right away. Right. Secondly, height, weight, appearance, dress, and names. So there might be somebody specific that you get a sense about, or something very specific that requires a greater degree of detail. And that's what you're going to need to refresh your mind. And if you overhear names or anything, you're to refresh your mind on who you're approaching when it comes time to approach, if that is indeed what you decide to do. Okay. You want to observe patterns. Right? Do they go and play basketball at the same place every day? Do they, or do they, what is their pattern? Okay. The next thing that you want to be scouting for is your contact point. Now, your contact point I'll get onto that in making contact. But you need to kind of start filing your mind. Okay, who is the person here that I can talk to, that I don't have to approach the whole group, and when do I catch them? And then you need to in your mind kind of put together, okay, the known unknowns. Like, what am I certain I do not know here that I need to know? All right. Secondly, you want to, as quickly as you can, go back and record these details so you can refresh your mind before you move on to the next thing. Because as much as we'd like to think that our memories are perfect, they are not, especially if there's a lot going on. And even if your memory is perfect, it's very valuable to have notes that you can go back and consult and reflect on, maybe even annotate as you're thinking things through. All right. Maybe annotate's not the right word. What am I going to read the fucking dictionary? All right. I'm just teasing. All right. Making contact. All right. Here's some of the techniques that you're going to use to make contact. First of all, there's the three names say. And this comes from sales. It's a part of the psychology. So when you approach somebody and you exchange names, because that's definitely something that you want to do, is exchange names. And when they give you their name, you are going to say that back to them 3 times. Like, hey, I'm Hank. Hey, I'm Bill. And I go, all right, Bill. Or something like, Bill. Oh, yeah, my grandfather's name was Bill. Or, like dollar bill. So 3 times. And what that does is it does 2 things. One, it helps you memorize it. Secondly, there is no word in the English language, or any language, I suspect, that people enjoy hearing more than their own name. So you're beginning to develop rapport. So it's the 3 names say. Second, on making contact, and it's situational, is your appropriate point of contact. Now, in most situations, I'm always looking for somebody that has courage. Looks like they've got some heart, and that has no particular desire, and it's not like the bully or calling the shots. Okay, you're not going to find. I don't think it's very wise often to approach what appears to be the leader. You always want to, not always, but it's a little bit better often to make a contact point that's on the periphery and catch them at some point, and that way you can broaden your contact network and begin to understand that internal group dynamic before you engage with the group as a solo individual. So you're trying to integrate without taking command. But like I say, it's situational. Sometimes you will want to approach the leader directly. So this is something that you're going to have to make the best decision on about. This is something that, it's something that maybe you can't teach. Only experience will teach you that. All right, the next thing that you want to do is you want to create a rally point. Okay, so a meet point where you're not on their territory, or you're proposing that you all meet in another location that's not there while they're performing whatever activity that you've observed in the pattern is. Okay, so you're moving from one environment that they're familiar with to a quasi-neutral environment. It's not going to be near your operating base, not going to be your house. Don't fucking invite them over for dinner. Okay. Secondly, don't have it be overly crowded, because if it's overly crowded, there's distractions. You do not want a whole host of fucking other things going on, because you're trying to assess and gather attention. Neutral, some kind of neutral ground. There cannot be a time constraint on it. So, no, it's not going to be at the bar that can close. It's not going to be at a restaurant that can close. It's not going to be at somebody's work or place of business where they can be distracted or there is a time constraint. E, you want to minimize distractions, so don't bring along your kids. Don't bring along your wife. Don't bring along any fucking body else. Okay? Only what they expect to be there, that's it. And hopefully, and you'll know right away, okay, did this motherfucker bring over, his kid, his wife? I mean, like, now you're getting more information here. They did not minimize that distraction. You, on the other hand, have minimized that distraction. You're taking out variables so you can understand the situation better. Like I say, F, no unobserved additions. So you're not going to come up with fucking a whole bunch of people they don't know. Okay, you're just going to have to do it on your own. Again, that is situational. Occasionally you might want to have, if all these other contact pieces have come together in a particular way, a way that seems to favor bringing an addition, then, well, do that. Okay, so it may even be something like, we're going to bring our families and we're going to meet together at the pool, we're going to cook up these fish and eat a bag of potatoes or something. So in that case, you would want to bring your family, because otherwise you're going to be not quite, let's say, moving with the flow. You always want to move with the flow. Now, the first objective. What I mean by first objective is you're sitting around, you're gathering information. Over time, you're going to have a proposal. Because if people don't know what the fuck's going on, which will probably be the vast majority of them, you're going to want to have something up your sleeve. Okay? So it would be what I would call your first objective. First objective would be in your mind. All right? And you would have already planned it, coordinated it, and it's already a success. Okay? They just don't know it yet. All right? You've already taken care of it. The job is done. But now you're going to introduce them into the field or whatever you're trying to get done, even though it's already a success, to see what happens. All right? Once the success has been achieved, then you're going to share in that success to demonstrate who you are and what you're there for. You're there to help. You're there to join a community of people that are interested in mutual benefit, because we all have different skills. No man is an island, and you want to see who's going to take more. You want to see who wants to take that extra piece. You want to see who's on the sneak tip. You want to see who's the man that says, "No, you go ahead and have that. You go ahead and have that. No, take that to your kid." Like. So there's charity is where it's at, definitely. There, and then after the success, you set the next meet, and then you disperse. And when I mean disperse, I mean fucking full stop. Boom. No after party. Okay? Once it's done, it's done. Walk away. Okay? So, because you don't want that, you don't want to add a couple of pops of drinks. You don't want to have this discussion about what we do next or what the next move is. Nah, you did it. It's done. Now it's time for you to disperse, and if they sit there, that's fucking fine. But you need to cut after that next meet is set. And when you come back, hell, they might have a plan. They might have something together that gives you an opportunity to see what they've come up with when you're not there. So you kind of remove yourself, and then you can return, because there's never anything really lost in a strategic withdrawal. No after parties. Okay? Even though you might have had a great time, one day or a couple of days is not enough time for you to understand group dynamics. And you may have more than one thing going on. Okay? Which you should. And then at that next meet, past the first objective is now you're opening the dialogues where you're all you're establishing objectives, and then you begin to divide into teams. So like, I'll go with this guy, you go with that guy to get this done, that done. This is what favors our skills, kind of letting the flow dictate how things are split. You want to conduct your independent operations. So, say there's a group dynamic where there's already this a challenge to power. That's going to happen all the time. That this guy wants to run it. Well, fucking let him run it. All right, let him run it. But the guys that don't want to run it, that just want to see, want to take a look, might pull off in another direction. That might be the direction that you want to go in, and let King Boss over here do his thing. And then, well, if he's providing and doing it in the right way, in an honorable way, then fucking hell yeah. You know, you got King Boss over here. Let him run that shit. All right? And then you can go off and do something else, come back, meet King Boss whenever, whatever. You can cover a bigger area. All right? And then D, but you want to establish enough of a relationship, you know, to continue to approach King Boss, because you got to have a friendly relationship, and you need to maintain that relationship. You need to be having eyes on it. And then over time, you'll end up with your trusted people that you can trust to keep an eye on things, wherever that might be. It's time. And D, like I said, you're measuring the success of those independent operations on these objectives that were established, just to see, you know, who, what type of thing was the most successful, what brought the most gain, you know, for the risk reward. So then you come back taking a look. Well, there's more to this, but that's a very fast 101 just to start. Because I thought, well, maybe it is a little bit ambitious to start with start constructing the limestone monastery, you know, right away. But my initial objective, it's not my first objective, but my longer term objective, like I'm very clear about, is I want to be able to establish a community center. It's got sewing, where people are out of work, they can come say, this is what my skill is. You know, got a couple of women there that, you know, are keeping books and ledgers, names, addresses. You know, if there's something to share, something somebody needs, this is where they can go. A community center, library, you know, source of information, some kind of external means of exchange that would be, you know, fully secured, place where people could have their children educated, their children with them, place where lessons could be taught to teach people how to get what they need to survive, to assess the needs of the people, whether they, you know, it's like, you know, somebody hears that, well, you know, grandma, whatever, over here, you know, can't get this, can't have this, needs that, needs some help with this, then they got a place to go, and then people to take notes on what needs to be done, and then that way people can take care of it. We can take care of each other. I mean, you save yourself by saving others. If you're focused on yourself, I don't know how far you'll get, but you have the most creativity, the most drive, the greatest success when you care for others. So by saving others, you will save yourself. It's been Hank, The Real Talk. Catch you guys on the flip side.